I want to crash your conversation a bit so that I own you. Exactly. Yeah. And so, but I want to take you on. I'm sorry, it's my job. I want to take you on the question you asked the speaker, because that has been very, very contentious. Even when this current regime took over, we saw the process of transition. It was very rough for many political pundits. And you said it is time that maybe we emulate the model from Kenya and Ghana, for example, where those countries have transition acts. Is it time, first in your own capacity or opinion, is it time that we too borrow a leaf from them?
Yes, indeed. We should formulate a presidential transition act, and as NGC we want to work with the other political parties to do it. We can look at what has happened in Ghana and in Kenya and adapt that to Sierra Leone. Why is it important? Every transition we've had has a crisis. So, for example, I believe we should be very clear how people are replaced from their jobs when the new government comes in. It is fact that every new government needs to bring in a team that shares their ideology and understands their manifesto. But at the same time, if we're removing people, they should receive their benefits. There should be a smooth transfer. When I was managing international systems, one of the things we cherished the most is institutional memory. You don't learn overnight. There are people who understand public policy because they have the training and discipline over time. We don't just replace. And every regime does that. What that happens? When you knock off over 1,000 people in a small country like here that have huge households, you're already embedding hatred and anger if it is not done justly. When people come into those political positions, if they're political positions or technical positions, a transition program will be very clear. You're coming in for 4 years. You're coming in for 7 years. And when you're leaving, this is how you live. For example, I chair the International Affairs Committee. It is not proper, I was a diplomat before, that you move diplomats just by notice that they have to move in a month. They have kids in school. We have international protocols. When I was serving in Nigeria, they told me exactly when I will leave, when I will come, and they give me time to settle my liabilities in the country. And they tell me what position I'm going to. And I managed field offices as well. These are standard diplomatic courtesies that we should give to our diplomats who have served us. But the same thing happens locally here in the various agencies. If somebody has worked and we've not found them wanting, we don't just send a letter overnight that you're fired. We're not a company. Even a company, they give you a compensation package. But here in this country, and it happens repeatedly, even heads of states, President Kaba had that issue for 2 years. They would not even give him his benefits that he's entitled to. Those things we have to change. This is why we would want to work, as NGC, we want to work with other political parties to begin to look at a proper transition act. We'll look at what has happened in Ghana and what they have in Kenya and other places, so that we can, again, it's all part of governance, but it is part of avoiding conflict and injustice.
And that is what I want to take you on. You are the leader of a political party in the House where many would say the iron meant to forge our laws is mined, and even the water meant to nurture our democracy is drawn. So how do you ensure that you use those advantages to get the problems, if not solved totally, but mitigated, to a point that democracy survives?
We dialogue. And then some of us formulate policies. We can do it as a private member bill, but for a policy like this, it has to be bipartisan. So yes, we will draft something that we'll share with colleagues so that we debate it. As you saw, the speaker was very eloquent about it as well. He said the United States is one good example. The dates are known. You come in at this time, you leave at this time. Let me drop another controversial one, which I'll do this afternoon. It's a debate we are having with some other friends. But that's why a dialogue like this is good. You can talk about anything, right? Yes. And it doesn't mean it's law. But some people have argued one reason why institutions fail, one reason why everything is politicized, is because immediately you elect a president, he's thinking immediately of a second term. So what happens? He begins to compromise everything or politicize everything. They have to give jobs to the boys. You understand? They have to help their party infrastructure. So some are arguing, like in Mexico or Costa Rica, one term. 6 or 7 years. So the president is protected from the pressures of his political party. You remember yesterday somebody said, let us have a functional state and then we have the party. We need to protect our president. So some are debating, it's an academic debate. Would it help African countries if you have 1 term, 6 years or 7 years, finish? You know you come in, you have adequate time to do what you must, take some tough decisions because you are not worried about a second term. And I see it even in our own republic. Because you think of a second term, people come, they would even literally threaten the president. Yeah, I saw it in Pakaba's first term after the war. The efforts he was making. There was a time his party even wanted to remove him. I saw it in Nigeria when I worked there. Obasanjo, his party wanted to impeach him. So I've seen these problems, but we know countries. So in academic settings, this debate has started. Should we be giving African presidents 1 term so they have that security and they are protected from the pressures of the party and vested interest, or even the ethnic group? Will it work? That's why I'll raise it probably this afternoon. So we debate it.
Coming back to that, maybe in the Sierra Leone context, for example, we've seen politicians, party executives serving as government officials. And that has also raised some serious debates and controversies across the corridors. So how do we ensure, for example, that if you are a party executive, you stay away national service so you have time to work for your party? And
Let us pass a law. Let us pass a law. I believe it's bad. I believe it's bad. The party chairman should be the party chairman. When you put senior party official, and the logic is there, they say we put them there so that they can strengthen our party, whatever that means, or reward. I think it's dangerous when those individuals also occupy seats in parastatals and so on. If we can't stop it by good sense, then we should legislate. We should pass a law that we don't want senior party officials occupying certain executive positions in government. Finish. We do that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yumkela. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. And we continue to bring more